Okie dokie, here we go. Going back in as the Haruspex. Let's see. I think I'm on day 3, and I think that I think I've done all of the quests for the day, for the most part at least. Let's see. Okay. So if we look at the quest log real quick, the main one is done, and these are done too. Let me read this real quick. What kind of creature hides beneath the brand? Is it someone who has no name whatsoever, and is thus defined by a symbol? I kind of feel like I should try the British grandpa voice. Is it someone who has no name whatsoever, and is thus defined by a symbol? Or is it terrifying to such an extent that it is forbidden to speak its name? Is this knowledge sacred? Whatever the reason, it is clear that special measures were taken to keep the identity a secret. I'll have to postpone the meeting with the foreman. The mystery of the sought one is yet to be deciphered. The panacea still has to be made, so I have to keep working. I'm only 25 years old. Okie dokie. I think that means, hopefully, for the rest of the day, I can focus on trading, trying to get a little schmowdy, and this is actually sort of the part of town that you want to do that in. Yeah, so I guess that means for the main quest, I know I just read this, but so he doesn't know what the symbol is. The Urchter. I I know that sometimes I like try to pronounce the step words in kind of, or some of them aren't even necessarily step words. Some of them like Han, Casper, Hankine, which I don't. We haven't even talked about Casper yet, and I'm probably just gonna call him Casper for ease. For some reason, I thought this little boy was an herb bride. I just saw the dark hair, and it didn't. His clothes are kind of the same color as his skin, and I was like, "It's a funny looking herb bride over there." I can't. These are all for her, for my one beloved girl. I'm rested, right? I should be fine. Good reputation. Health is kind of low. Hunger's okay. Exhaustion's good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have the sand plague. Ooh, this was a really good trash can. Ooh, nice. Nice. Yeah, but sometimes I'm gonna say either the Russian words or the step language words in, like, I'm gonna try to, what do I always say? I say Ahdong, but it's like, I think it's just Ahdong or Ahdong. I don't know. I don't know how the G is pronounced. The GH. I kind of know how the KH is pronounced, but like not well enough to actually feel like I'm doing it right. But I don't want to sound like an idiot being like, Barack, like Barack Obama, Artemy Barack Obama. I mean, don't get me wrong. I called him that for many months, and I was at first very much so resigned that I would just call him. Oh, I don't actually want to go in here. The reason I don't want to go in here, this is a little bit superstitious. I don't think I have any reason to go in there. I think I've checked all the stores. But it could despawn the kids, and so I'd rather walk around for a while before I pop into a shop. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Alrighty, thank you. And hopefully the prices will increase again, so that the stuff that I'm gathering can be sold, on a day that's better for selling, because today the prices are pretty low. So I don't want to make any big selling. I don't want to sell a lot today because ooh, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. It's me, it's the Haruspex, it's me. Your friend, your Uncle Artemy. Okay, that's okay. Pat, 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 pat. Thank you anyways. Yeah, I know I'm not training with you. I know I'm not. I'm sorry, but, you know, the thing is that, to put it, to put it very mildly or very simply in as simple and as mild terms as I can, the trading system in this game, sometimes there's a little girl walking around down on the edge over here. It's very foggy. Okay. Um, to put it very simply, mildly, etc., etc., the trading system in this particular game is not very complex. Whether or not having a complex trading system is a good or a bad thing, that's maybe more up to interpretation, you know? I don't know. I'm actually gonna go ahead and walk in, walk out, and let things reload. You're not selling anything that interesting, are you? Because today's actually not a bad day to buy things. Go ahead and buy another one of these. Because I have the cloak, so I need to keep an eye on that. I can definitely make medicine myself, but for whatever reason, maybe because I had just played as Clara, and Clara had just had the plague, and I got used to managing my plague as Clara, and Clara doesn't really have access to the antibiotics that Artemy makes. But I'm pretty sure even when I played as Artemy last time, I kind of just stuck with the more what do you call them, over-the-counter antibiotics, rather than go, ooh, hazelnuts. Girl, I have so many schmouterables. I'll have lots of days to find schmouters, so it's fine, but I don't really know of a better way to spend my time right now. So that's what I'm going to plan to do. My reputation's perfect, dude. I'm sorry. I can't justify it because if I was rolling in cash, you know, that would be one thing, but I'm not really. So, yeah. I think the middle, the knots, is really the only viable place to look for teensies. They might show up in other parts occasionally, but I feel like 90% of the time you see a teensy, she's in the knots. So this is where I'm gonna look. And yeah, the trading is very simple, and you know, in some ways that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I kind of like how straightforward it is. How it's very obvious that if I wanted to buy a bullet from that guy, I would be sacrificing the chance to get a schmouter. This is the only guy who really has practically no trade desires in common with teensies, so, and he has a lot of things that you can pull out of a freaking garbage can. So he's really good to trade with. It's pretty simple. But like since the things he trades aren't really, like, it's not like in P2 where you can get soap from a little boy and then trade the soap to a girl, like a young woman, and then the young woman will give you raisins, and then you can give the raisins to another little boy who'll give you an egg, and you can give the egg to whatever. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants an egg, but the point is that it's super complicated, but this is pretty simple. Like, I could make a pretty simple diagram showing that, you know, there's some things that only the teenager, like preteen boys, like. There's some things that only the young boys like. Same thing for the teenage girls. And then the teensies, honestly, is a combination, not to gender essentialize a teensy, but pretty much, I'm not taking it, pretty much a teensy is a combination. Do these respawn? Or was I just having water issues? I was probably just having water issues. The teensies, as far as I know, flowers might be the only thing that only teensies like, but besides that, they like some of the same things as teenage girls, needles and hooks, and they like some of the same things as little boys. Hey girl. You almost blended in with the environment. Pumpkin. I almost didn't see you, and I couldn't give you a little head pat. How much of a shame would have that have been? And then on top of that, these guys, they want water. Nobody else wants water, just these guys. They give you bandages, nobody wants bandages. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, they actually don't give you bandages. That's a lie. I don't know how to put it other than I don't believe there's anything that a character can give you in a trade in this game that you can then trade to another character, as far as I know. Yeah, there's certain things you can buy, and maybe you could, and in this one there's at least the added element of trading with Andre for herbs, which is fun. I actually think that that's a lot better than in P2 in a way. I kind of wish that they had kept that element, because it does, I think, add sort of a certain amount of randomness, which can be hard to deal with if I don't know how to put it other than if you have all these elements being random. It's like if you also have sort of this random supply that Andre's trading you, and if you can't necessarily get money for it, it does perhaps throw off the balance of things. I'm not saying that it definitely throws off the balance, because I don't know. I have not run the exact calculations. I should probably buy some more food. I should definitely buy some more food because stuff is cheap today. But I don't want to sell anything to get more money. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of my money on food before the end of the day. So I am actually gonna go back up to that. Oh yeah, that's the plague. I'm like, oh fuck, I have the plague. Yeah, I do have the plague. It's really not that bad. It's really not as bad as people make it out to be. You know, people make such a fuss about the sand plague, like it's, so bad or whatever. Um, but yeah, I do think it would have been cool if in P2 it doesn't have to be Andre. It could just be some other character in the Broken Heart. Um, but it's weird because uh in P1, this game that I'm playing, there is a bartender at the Broken Heart, but there's also Andre trading you, and they're two different opportunities, kind of. So you could have had both, actually. You could have had the bartender buying herbs, and then you could have had Andre trading for either herbs or tinctures, because in this game he's interested in tinctures, but I think in P2 it's never really made out that like twirine and tinctures are hee hee hee. This is so funny. You guys don't have anything. The fuck. I'm actually gonna go around this way. But it's yeah. And it doesn't, I mean, certainly it doesn't make a grand amount of sense for the medical tinctures and the twirine to be kind of interchangeable. But it also does certainly make sense, certainly starting on day 3 of Pathologic or Pathologic 2. It would make sense for Andre to want the tinctures anyways. There's lots of things you can do with tinctures though, I mean, it's all very, what's the word? Like, flexible in the sense that I don't want to say that there's one way to balance the game. And it's kind of like, it's interesting because you think about balancing how you play the game or balancing what are you going to do? Are you going to let yourself get the plague and then just chug a bunch of antibiotics, or are you going to load up on immunity boosters beforehand and never get the plague? Not really an option in this game. And I say that hesitantly because, like, don't get me wrong, maybe you can totally avoid the plague in this game, and I just never really figured out how. But whatever. The point is that for P2 certainly, which I think is a slightly better balanced game, then the players have to decide how they're going to balance their playthrough, and there's like all these factors going on or whatever, which, oh, I have a letter, how exciting. Oh, this was old, right? We've got a deed we won't manage without you. Surely this was the new one, right? Yeah, because it would have been in that direction. Perfect. I had no idea that I had a secret letter from Notkin. Notkin really the MVP of the Haruspex route in all aspects. I mean, Notkin makes the Haruspex route worth playing, and I mean that in both P1 and P2. But yeah, I'm sure they did many, many rounds of playtesting, and I'm sure it was in many, many ways a very quote unquote balanced game. Like I say quote unquote because I don't have a good sense of what makes a game balanced. And I certainly think that for Pathologic too, part of it was this very complex system of trades, which I guess this, I remember standing by one of these the other day and being like, this is an herb. This is an herb. Obviously, when there's like 5 of them in a row, it doesn't really look like an herb, but, and maybe it didn't quite look like this, but they do kind of look like herbs. But the fact that there's so many of them means that they're definitely not herbs. But yeah, the lack of options for trading in this game is kind of a bit of a downer. And I still like trading in this game. I mean, like, it's very simple, but it's still, kind of fun to go schmatter hunting. Yeah, I'll take that. And that. Thank you. Well, that wasn't a whole lot of money. We'll be fine. I can always go get that food off of Victoria's grave. It's such a like moral dilemma. It's like, well, should you sell stuff to get more food since it's cheap to buy food today? But you shouldn't sell stuff because it's cheap to sell stuff today. That was from Notkin, the note that I just got. Correct? Why are you sending me a letter at 8 o'clock at night? Nautikin? I don't remember this at all. I have no recollection of this game, really. Yeah, I don't. I mean, like, for example, earlier I thought I was gonna have to kill that butcher, which it wasn't even an option to kill him, so... I mean, maybe I could have, but, as far as I could tell, I could not kill the butcher. Hey, it is a plague curing girl, a medicine girl. I should probably call you medicine girl since I call the other guy medicine man. That's, only fair trade. Okay, thank you, Teensy. Thank you for the offer. That was so kind of you to offer me this medicine that I don't want. Hey, I think that the teenage girls do sell antibiotics at some point, but I might just be thinking of Pathologic too. Not actually sure, but I feel like they do. I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like a pretty freaking expensive trade, and so you never really feel like making it, especially since so many of the teen girl tradables are also the teen C tradables. So, like, I think it's something like 7 trade points for a formaldehydoxychinate or blah, blah, for a antibiotic, and then so 7 needles, right? Or you could get a schmouter for 10 needles, and it's like, well, I would rather save for a schmouter. Oh, alrighty, are there gonna be more assholes out here that I have to kill? Oh, I found more fucking hazelnuts? Dude. Alrighty, anything crazy happening here? He's gonna be like,
what is this disease?
Okay, I know that it's kind of obvious now that I'm looking at it, but I realized it a second beforehand. He's gonna tell me that he's got the plague map. That I can come and get a plague map from him. Oh, the times we live in. An epidemic. I hope my scouts are back soon. Scheming, are you? Maybe I am. Want to help out? Depends on what you're up to. I don't have any money, Nautikin. If you're asking for money, it's a no. Pat, 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 pat. I'm up to a good thing. My stolen halves are sneaking about everywhere, watching out for enemy dogheads, catching halves, and just generally messing around. So I want to use them for the greater good. Even Sticky will turn green with envy. Wait, you're in competition with Sticky? I guess it's saying that, like, this level of, espionage is something that Sticky would find impressive. Who's Sticky? Just a bloke. A bloke. Thinks he's the sharpest. He is. He's my son. Or he's my son in an alternate universe, at least. Likes to stick his nose. Oh, that's why he's called Sticky, because he likes to stick his nose everywhere. Oh! Can you explain Murky to me now? Okay. Won't miss anything fun for the life of him. The more dangerous, the better. Quite above himself, too. Wouldn't join our gang. Why are we even talking about him? I'm sure I've read all of this before. Maybe not, because I didn't feel like asking who's Sticky, because I knew who Sticky was. But, I love how it's Casper and Capella that have takes on Notkin. That makes sense. But, I'm curious who has takes on each of them, because they're kind of like a little... Like, they're sort of the older of Artemis' group. Not in this game, because Casper's 10 years old, but in P2, they're like, the teenagers. Like, 14, 15. Yeah, but no, this is interesting that... Because I feel like that's such a question. Because if you look at the 7 kids in Pathologic, obviously there's Casper and Notkin, who are each in a gang. And there's Capella, who, is a little above that, or a little bit wouldn't be a part of that. There's Taya, who kind of seems to have been in with Casper, but, also is now locked in the Termitaries, who knows. There's Murky, who, in P2 at least, she is sitting in the Soul and a Half's den, so as far as we know, she is probably aligned with the souls in some way. And then, there's Grace, who is probably not involved with this at all. She mainly hangs out at the cemetery. So, what about Sticky, right? And since Sticky is sort of the third closest to, like, a teenage boy of the group, I guess he's the only other boy in the group, actually, he seems like he should fit into this somehow, but the idea that he's, like, above himself and wouldn't join the souls, rather, or the Dogheads, I'm sure, is really interesting. And Sticky, yeah, I love Sticky. Sticky is such a cool character, because he is smart, he is sharp, he is above himself, He's, I don't know, I just think he's neat. You're great too, Naughty Kid. Pat, 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 pat. Why are we even talking about him? You're a little bit jealous? You can be my son too. You're a little bit too independent to be my son. The thing about Sticky is that he's independent, but he's not independent. And Notkin's like, I'm not independent. I'm the leader of a child organization of, maybe it's criminal. Who knows? Whatever. Okay, what do you want to talk about? We'll scout out which houses have been infected and make a map every day. Imagine that. If it goes well, the Bachelor himself will happily trade his right arm for such a map. You didn't even offer it to the Bachelor, you asshole. I remember. Vlad, too, is the one who sells the map to the Bachelor. And then in Clara's, you automatically get the map every morning. Your sister sends it to you. Sure, will you show me? We can even make a copy if you want. Wow, y'all have a Xerox machine? Can you do us a favor in return? What kind of favor? Your father knew about some awesome rare recipes for Twyrene infusions. He wrote the ones that protected from the sand plague after the first outbreak. Can you make them? Yeah, sure. How many? Give us 10, and the map is yours. And don't think I'm being greedy. I just need the infusions to equip the scouts. Sure. Was this... I don't know how I'm assuming at this point... I have to just assume at this point by the Burah family recipes. So maybe I'll read these little updates in Artemis' true voice. Or maybe I'll... Whatever, let's just try. It appears that Notkin plans to set up some dangerous reconnaissance operation. He says he'll share some valuable information in exchange for 10 immune system stimulants. Burah's knowledge of medicine is still held in the highest regard. I'll have to gather enough herbs and distill some brews that might help to immunize the body. Blech. That wasn't very good. Bleh, bleh. Okay. I'm gonna do this because I like to do quests. I have lots of organs. Dude, you scared the shit out of me. How much does this one cost? You're not even gonna tell me because I can't afford it? Okay. He's like laughing. He's like, dude, you cannot even afford that. That is something else that I wanted to do today while prices were cheap. For all I know, prices will be cheap tomorrow too. Like, I have no sense of the price fluctuations in this game. Which, isn't so bad. I should be able to manage. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go do this because I'm trying to do all the quests. I don't want to leave any major stones unturned. Um, and I mean, in this particular game, it's certainly doable to do all the quests, I think, in all the routes. Sometimes with a guide, of course, because sometimes, it's hard to do it without a guide or without getting plague, at least, which, uh, maybe that isn't such a bad thing, getting the plague. Kids are about to go in anyway, so I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm probably gonna sleep, and then I'm probably gonna, yeah, I was just gonna go trade with this guy, I guess. And then. I'll get as many herbs as I can from this guy, so that then any leftovers I can trade to L'Andre. I don't know how Notkin will feel about me just giving him basically a one herb potion, but like I might just give him 10. I mean, come on, who's not giving him one herb potions? I mean, I feel like it's kind of designed for that. If you had asked for 5, my dude, I could have given you 5 okay brews, but you're gonna kind of have to, accept what you can get. Personally, I'm kind of at the point where immunity doesn't matter, but you have to make those immunity potions to then go on to make the antibiotics, I believe, if it is the way I think it is. His wife left him. Watch him not trade with me. Watch him say, fuck you. My wife left me, or my girlfriend, or whatever. My Basagan. Basagan. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, I have some blood. So you do have to give it to them more than once. Oh, you'll also take these and this. Interesting. Okay. Take all my organs. Take it all. Take all that I have. So kidneys are only worth 4. Blood is only worth 3. And then what is this? 5? Nope, that's also 4. And 5. Okay, so kidneys and livers are the same. That's interesting. Alrighty. Doesn't seem like a ton because these cost kind of a lot. Like, this costs almost the same as White Whip, which admittedly makes sense because White Whip is not very valuable. But let me just get all of these, and I'm probably going to make Casper's potions out of these. I'm actually not going to get all of those because I'd rather spend some money on these guys and these guys, but in a way that balances out nicely. That balances out nicely. I don't know if this is a good ratio or not, but I just want to get the most for my money at this point, so I think I'll call that good. Yeah. Yeah. Part of me wants to get more of these so that I can trade them to Andre, but I can figure that out when I need to figure that out. I still have 6 bullets, and I can buy from Grief. I actually can't buy from Grief because I don't have any money, but yeah, I'm only peripherally concerned about, I might make like 1 decent immunity potion so that I can make like 1 decent antibiotic. Oh fuck, I traded away all my organs, so I actually can't even do that. So I might actually just carry those around with me. I don't know. We'll see. In that case, I probably should have just bought all the Bloody Twire if I was going to trade him to Andre. So yeah, I'll plan on keeping those for the most part at my layer, the better herbs that I bought, the brown and black, because my memory is that the majority, and maybe I only got these recipes last time, and I can tell you already, I'm pretty sure I have some different recipes this time because I think I did some slightly different quests. But the way I remember it is that, am I at my house? Oh my god, where the fuck am I going? The way I remember it is that I might actually be running out of time to do this quest. The way I remember it is that Sweevery Black twire and brown twire are the three that make up the majority of decent potions. White whip, you know, it's not that valuable. Bloody twire, it's definitely not that valuable. I mean, it's literally the least valuable of the twires, so, you know, it's right there. It's so obvious. Okay, do I have any twire in here? I have recipes. Let me see what my recipes are. 80 to 15 is pretty good. Brown, Sweevery, and a white whip. Yeah, well, that would be good, but Sweevery and white whip is expensive, my dude. Oopsies. Yeah, sure, let's put them all together. Okay. So, I only have 3, which doesn't seem like very much, but anyways. So this one's the one I just saw. 2 brown, Sweevery, and white whip. This one, 1 black, 1 brown, and 1 Sweevery. And then this one, 2 black, 1 brown, which this one's also pretty good, but I kind of feel like I should go for this one because it's really good. So maybe I'll save my brown, and I'll carry these ones around with me. This is the damn recipe that started Trading of Gatherer's Secrets. Yeah, so I never got that one because I didn't. I believed in women's rights last time I played Pathologic, and I did not let that girl run with that. Yeah, no, this is the same one that I made last time. Dankovsky accepted it, so if it's good enough for Dankovsky, it should be good enough for you guys. I mean, 10 is a lot, okay? You know, frankly, this is just a placebo. I'm not gonna lie to you, because, you know, fact is, you're probably gonna die of the sand plague. You probably already have it, because you're always telling me how your face feels weird, or whatever other weird shit you're telling me. So, this is just to make you feel better. I hope that you enjoyed them. If I was really supposed to get enough herbs to do any of those recipes, it would have been impossible. Even like the most basic ones, because I didn't have enough herbs to buy enough herbs. I didn't have enough organs to buy enough herbs to get even 2 of the cheapest herbs, you know? And I think all of those recipes I had called for at least 3 herbs. So, yeah. But I would like to go, because that was a really good one. The 2 brown, Sweevery, and white whip. So, that one's really good, and I will have to get that at some point, because I want to make some antibiotics at some point for me. And everybody else gets, you know, 6 immunity, 6 health. Hey, if you chug them, then this is 60 immunity and 60 health. You know, you win some, you lose some. You gotta take risks. Yeah. I feel like this quest, because there was a quest at Notkins earlier today, so I don't know if I just didn't finish the dialogue with him, or if I rushed out of here, or what, but it's so strange that I completely missed this quest.
Double or something.
Yeah, you definitely have the sand plague. Oh, the times we live in. An epidemic! I hope my scouts are back soon. Okay, let me try the grandpa voice. You never, something about how you should try things. But then that makes me think of do or do not, there is no try. So, basically, I am just going to try it because you only live once. Here are the infusions I've promised you, made by a Burah according to an ancient rite. That cost a fortune! The map will be waiting for you tomorrow. The map will be waiting for you from tomorrow on. I'll be sure to come. I was assuming for a second there, I was wrongly assuming, of course, that he was saying that this is a payment in advance for where it was this one. Yeah, okay. Apparently the disease is spreading in sporadic... What is my voice doing now? Apparently the disease is spreading in sporadic enclosures, hardly ever crossing the border of an infected district. Notkin's stray children are planning to investigate these hazardous places. Notkin's stray children are planning to investigate these hazardous places. Starting tomorrow, they're going to draw a map of whichever districts are attacked by the sickness each day. This will be useful. You also have to be clear, and this goes along with the whole grandpa thing, and he is such a tired grandpa. He is like the tiredest grandpa. He is so exhausted and over it, and just like, it's too bad that I can't have a reference and hear his voice. Maybe at the theater tonight. I have no idea. But, yeah, I'm glad that I did that. I was thinking wrongly. I was wrongly hoping... Is my health going down because I have the, sand plague? What? I don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to really quickly check and make sure that I bought all of Grief's bullets. I'm pretty sure that I did because they were so damn cheap. But I can't say for sure, so I'm going to check. And then I'm going to go sleep at Old Gimski's, and then I'm going to go see the play, and then I'm going to go kill some bad guys. Maybe I'll actually, well, I could actually sleep at my house and then go to Notkin's as a first step. Might be a nice change of pace. He who loans a minute
owes a year in interest.
What?
They say 'tis neither pox nor cholera. Too soon to measure.
My lot are all astir. The pricks are repining against me. Gotta see a split any day now. I've got bad news, Grief. I can't do this. I've got bad news, Grief. Everybody does. There ain't been nobody bringing good news since morning. I couldn't find a way to get on well with the rogues out there, so I had to kill them. Wait, what? Did they pick on you? Yes. So you're no guy to be picked on. 'Twas their own thick heads. 'Twas their own thick heads' fault that they rolled. Glad we came to an understanding. So I think this must be...
I sleep when I'm dead.
This must be... You're not trading with me, which is weird. It's possible that I started a dialogue with him, because I know that I had visited Grief sometime earlier today and bought bullets, but it seems that you have the option to sort of learn about those guys before, but I don't remember learning about those guys before. The, guys that I killed, presumably. I know, I keep wandering around, but I've changed my mind. I'm gonna go sleep at my place. Just because, you know, sometimes you just gotta have a little cozy, sleepy sleep in your little Haruspex den, in your little lair, your little laboratory. Sometimes it's just so cozy, and you just cannot help but sleep in your lair, sweet lair. So I'm gonna go do that. Then I'm gonna go back here, and then I'll work my way that way. I'll see if I can buy bullets. I don't have any money, and I'm not selling things to Grief. So it might make more sense to go get bullets from Andre first. But, yeah. I think Grief and Andre are the main two things to get bullets from. Oh, and teenage girls, which I've been neglecting, but is an option, certainly. And along with that, getting things that you can trade teenage girls with is also sort of a second, what do you call it? It's like a secondary source to get bullets, ultimately. And so when I go to Broken Heart to trade with Andre, I'm also going to, of course, talk to my favorite bartender. And hopefully he'll be selling... Oh, perfect. A necklace. That's literally what I was about to talk about. Necklaces, rings, earrings, as well as flowers, which are more for teensies, but all that stuff. So that then I can trade those for bullets. Alrighty. I'm going to take my various drugs. Oh, let me pull out my, pill container. So I'm gonna take one of these. And let's go ahead and take this one. What if that had killed me? That would have been funny, because I haven't saved in a little while. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna sleep for 2 full hours. And there we go. Alrighty. Day 4.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theatre.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, this is another diary. Let's see. Crude Sprawl houses 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. As of 16 o'clock, 118 sick, 3 deceased. This is fascinating to see, by the way. I don't remember this. I might have just not freaking read it last time I played this game. No idea. But the idea of him taking notes about the Crude Sprawl outbreak, that's really fascinating. So he says as of basically 4 o'clock, there were 118 sick, 3 deceased. And then as of what is that? 7 o'clock, it was 281 sick, 99 deceased, which is a big increase. Houses 1 and 6, everyone dead. Everyone except the Korov Upon Children Unknown quarantine houses 12 through 14 boarded up. The disease is rapidly spreading. The mortality rate is nearly 100%. Only a miracle will save us. Should be localized with whatever harsh measures require the black quarantine. Skinner's district houses 2 and 7, adjacent to Crude Sprawl. Uncharacteristic indications boarded up. Crude Sprawl as of 2:30, 51 sick, 217 deceased. No one uninfected. Did not contract after taking petrol formula myself. Uprin. Is this another, this must be another one of his students, right? Uprin Rubin. Contracted after taking quick brew. Abond, Nurk, Bodia. Cured with the dead gruel, Nurk. I'm assuming these are all his students. Rubin is just one of them. So there's petrol formula, quick brew, dead gruel. Cured with dead gruel? I'm pretty sure you can make dead gruel in this, and I didn't think it was a cure. I thought it was, kind of a bad combination, but I don't know for sure. These signs indicate her proximity. Suwak. Oh, I love this. The time will come when the starving ancient mother will devour her offspring. The depth of her gullet cannot be measured. The searing heat of her cavities cannot be quenched. The soil, the mud, the dense darkness, the horror. I really like that because, just, it sort of, is there's a, 25% chance I read that and completely forgot it. There's a 75% chance I didn't even bother to read that, when I last played this game. Oh, by the way, there's a freaking plague banner up here. That's great. Doesn't matter, I have the plague, who cares? But I really like that because, I guess I wasn't expecting to have this interesting combination of, like medical diarying, like, taking statistics, like, this many sick, this many infected. These are the different, cures that we've tried, or the different medicines that we've used. And then sort of summing it up with this really, characteristic way for him to talk, right? Saying, Suwak is close, she's so close. And, it was like, she's so close, and I was like, the sand plague. And then he was like, Suwak, and I was like, oh, of course, Suwak, which is their, personification, their goddess of death, right? In the kin, culture. So, I really think that is a very specific, great characterization for Isidore, which I feel like him talking about Bodo and Suwak is actually not something we have seen much of.
Have you
How
heard?
much are you gonna make me pay for
Bandits
this?
are cutting people. They want batshit.
Did you just say batshit? Okay. Can you imagine? I'm gonna talk back to you. The Skinner's district is completely empty. No disease there anymore. There's never been any. Weird, right? Sticky's on cloud 9. No doubt about that. Yeah, because he's in that district. I'm worried about him, though. Who is Sticky? Yeah, I love this. Well, there's this guy. Haven't I told you already? He's always looking for trouble. We aren't friends or anything, but I do have a lot of respect for him. So what's going on in that district now? This is more of a P2 out of me voice. So what's going on in that district now? I don't know. But anyways. Versus a P1 Artemy voice, which is just so dramatic. Marauders all over the place. Oh, yeah, and a P2 Notkin voice is much more chill. Marauders all over the place. And he's British in P2, for sure. Marauders all over the place. Houses are still standing unlocked just like they were yesterday. So they're grabbing what they can. I bet they're gonna gang up together soon. Killed a good fellow not too long ago, they did. And Rick's big brother as well. That's who I'd like to go to war with. Yes, they deserve it.
In trouble
Okay.
to be troubled is to have your trouble doubled.
Okay, dude. What's so costly about it? The field gear. I'm not trying to spindle you. I do not
They
have
screwed my
any
foot
money.
up. I can't walk on my own now.
Well, take it easy, baby. I'm a doctor. Pat, pat, pat. Okay, how many crowbars did you say you wanted? 4 will do. Oh, okay. I don't remember this quest.
Bachelor wants to turn on Cathedral into a hospital. Is he completely bonkers?
Did you say cathedral or the theater? I don't know. It sounded kind of weird the way you said it, whatever it was. I don't have my volume turned up very high, so I can't really hear him that well. That's interesting. So I got a quest from Notkin. That desperate Notkin has a peculiar idea of taking good care of his friends whom he orders to delve into the infected parts of town. He's assigned a reward for every 4 crowbar brought to him. Really? So if I bring him like 40, that's 10 rewards? And there's no way to get these crowbars but to kill the looters. Okay. Well, I'd love to kill looters, but I need bullets. Okay, I'm gonna go check griefs for bullets. Yeah, this part of town isn't actually infected. Which again, who cares about infection? I am a plague carrier. I am already infected with the sand plague. You know, I go around telling people every day that they're infected with the sand plague, but it's really me who is infected with the sand plague. It would be interesting if there was a mechanic where you could spread the plague to the bound, right? I mean, it wouldn't fit in this game because it's already there's the resources for getting cures is already so low that adding an opportunity for more infection, besides in Clara's playthrough in which there is an opportunity to get more for infection, which is a whole thing, but the point is that it's going to make the game very difficult to win if it's a random thing
Feels like
like
mustard.
that. Okay. Okay, prices are still good. I actually cannot buy these because I literally have no money. Alrighty. Well, since that's that, I'm probably gonna go up here then. Okay, I'll do that a little bit later. So yeah.